versus Carney. Got Forsberg versus Essa, Robbins versus Taguchi, Osmo versus Hughes, Reeder versus Sharifo. There's Brandon Sorensen going out in the wet. Like I said, he looked really good earlier, Ryan.
Yeah.
Sorensen took out Masuyama and Denofa and LZ. That was the first battle we saw in the wet.
Young kid here trying to continue to grow his profile, but really doing well this season and surprising a lot of people, but certainly has that driving ability. Going up against a big roadblock right now in Chelsea Denofa, who right now has not been beat for 2 rounds.
That's right, #1 qualifier, taking it to the top, and here he is back-to-back #1 qualifying again. So he's still got a lot of driving to do. It's not going to be easy, especially just the variable that is Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm.
And we are again seen over in the pits and getting a vibe of people still hanging out, hoping it dries out. Would love to see some drier conditions, maybe in the 8 or even the 4, but here we go. Denofa and Sorensen, run 1 of our first top 16 battle. Here we are in the Royal Purple top 16. Royal Purple, the synthetic experts, the official engine oil of Formula Drift. E-Town playing host to round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Denofa out front, Sorensen chasing him down. And there we go, Chelsea Denofa bringing it into the wet. You got to think him living up in the PDX, talking about Portland. He's got a school drift where he teaches a lot of kids in the wet, and there goes Denofa. You got to think from his first run against LZ, he's going to change that setup up. Right there. Yeah, look at that. Sorensen right in the mix, that 212 BMW into that final outer zone. Oh, slow motion with me. Slow motion for me. There we go. Brings it across. That
but in these conditions, much different approach.
Got it. Yeah, yep. All right, here we go. So Brandon Sorensen out front, Chelsea Denofa in that chase position. Let's see how Sorensen does out front with the clean air, not getting the spritz in his face. Now changing it back into that second outer zone. Big angle there from Sorensen, looking fairly similar to what Chelsea did on that second outer zone. Ooh, looks like losing some parts, but Sorensen hanging in that outside zone. Ooh, overshoots that front clip. And now into that final outer zone. Sorensen gaining a lot of wows from these guys. Some contact made between Chelsea and Sorensen.
It looks like he may not have had control through the finish line. We'll get a closer look at that. Oh, wow.
All right, slide him left for Denofa, right for Sorensen. It looks like Chelsea Denofa will get the win. Chelsea Denofa with the win.
So I got to imagine the judges pretty confident that the spin was occurring through the finish line.
All right, Chelsea Denofa gets the win, and Lorette Nichols with a very happy Simon Olsen. So another all Toyota battle here. Ryan Turk versus Simon Olsen. And Ryan would love to rise to the occasion. Simon Olsen would like to throw down as well here in the Royal Purple top 16. Turk will lead. Turk qualified 8th. Simon Olsen qualifying 24th. And here we go for the second battle of this top 16. Who's going against Denofa in the Great 8? Let's find out again. Hopefully get some sort of dry conditions throughout the night. Maybe it'll be even in just the finals. Regardless, let's keep them going. Send it, fellas. Ryan Turk, Simon Olsen coming to that first outside zone. Look at Simon. Not backing down whatsoever. Ryan Turk, that Gummout Toyota Racing Corolla hatchback. Getting all the way out to that line. Look at that. Flirt with the edge of the track. Simon Olsen mimicking the angle. Not as deep, but definitely keeping proximity. Like that line from Olsen. Looks like Turk gripping up, getting some traction. And out to that outside zone. And Simon Olsen not part of the equation on that last outside zone, Ryan.
Yeah, let's take a chase position and Simon Olsen to the lead. Second battle in the top 16. Who's going to be moving on to face Chelsea Denofa?
All right, Simon Olsen will lead. Ryan Turk giving chase, and that will be a restart. So Simon Olsen, I assume, hitting a cone.
You see that light?
Yeah, see it. Blinded by the light.
Bright enough?
Blinded by the light. Have to restart my Supra in the middle of the night. Go, Larry. Larry Chen for the win. Yeah, buddy, you did it. You did it, Larry. You're the best around.
You're the best.
Yeah, shouting him out. Shout at the devil. All right, Julian and Julia, what's up? Send a shout out to Brady. There you go. Thanks for sticking around, you hardcore fans. How are we doing out there, Jersey? Thank you guys and gals for sticking around. You waterlogged. And here we go. Simon Olsen out front. Ryan Turk in that chase position. Underneath the tower of power into that first outside zone. Olsen now into the second outside zone. 180-degree turn. Full pull Olsen. And you can see Ryan Turk shorten up the line, but keeping that proximity. Now drops that back Nitto tire into the outside zone. And it looks like Simon Olsen takes out the clip. Ryan Turk taking even a shallower line than that. Man, they are standing on that thing. They zip tie that gas pedal down.
Well, Ryan Turk definitely made.
Slide him left for Turk, right for Olsen. It looks like Ryan Turk gets the vote from 2 and 3 judges. Ryan Turk gets the win, knocking out Simon Olsen. And Turk does get the win. And we are ready for currently 1 and 2, so shaking up the points. Odie Bakshis will lead. And Matt Field
Frenemies keep coming together,
Dude,
huh?
the frenemies meeting up all the time.
Yeah, they love hanging out.
The Royal Purple Top 16. Here we go, fellas. Odie leading. Matt Field giving chase. Here we go. Odie going into that first outside zone. Matt Field coming in. Let's see how he handled this. Good proximity from both of them. Oh, look at that. Matt Field giving, absolutely mimicking the angle.
We go.
Good angle. Nice job from both the Falcon Tire drivers. Wrapping it around that front inside clip. Odie gripping up. You can see him pulling away from Matt Field. Solid job by both these drivers. That could have been the best tandem we've seen in the wet, Ryan.
All right.
So again, 1 and 2 in points. Only 2 rounds in, and Odie and Field 1 and 2.
Trying to stretch things out here with Vaughn going out early. Just
the yellow lights are on. Let's see if it helps his vision in the wet. Again, seen some dry spots out here. Woo, look at that initiation by Odie Bakshis. Right to the door of Matt Field. Now coming to that second outside zone. You can see Matt Field deep, Odie taking a shallower line. See if he can work it out there. And Odie, great proximity from him. Oh, taking out that front clip. Actually, Matt Field just did nick it with that front left. Oh man, Matt Field risking it for the biscuit. Nice job by him, and allows Odie to get up close and personal with him.
For Odie Bakshis.
Slide him left for Odie, right for Matt Field, and look at this. Oh man, Matt Field takes out our current points leader, shaking things up. Oh, he gets one back in a major way, because that means Odie going out early in the 16. That shakes up the points and the point standings. Like I said, he was under 30. I guess around the world. Thank you so much. And here we go. Dean Carney will chase down Dai Yoshihara. Dai Yoshihara leading. And that Subaru BRZ turbocharged LS coming to that outside zone. Whoa! You see contact, or we just get a little weird there? All right. So as Dai Yoshihara fills that second outside zone, and Dean Carney now drops in. Let's see how they handle the slow front clip. Dean Carney just knocks it over. That big SRT10 Dodge Viper coming to the side of the BRZ. Let's take a look at the different perspectives here, Ryan.
Well, Jared,
all of a sudden I'm thinking of the is that song Blind Melon? Is that it? All I can say. Here we go as Dean Carnage Carney and Dai Yoshihara. Dean Carney dropping that back left tire, and next tire coming now into that second long outer zone. Dai Yoshihara taking a shallower line, and Dean all the way out there. The turn 14 Falcon tire BRZ gets to the side of the big long Dodge Viper. Down to that final outside zone. And coming across. Oh!
Well, I was going to say, Dean looks much more comfortable in the lead position, especially on this battle. But this is the fourth occurrence that we've seen where a driver looks like they have not maintained control through that final portion of the run. That white line there indicating the finish line.
And scores are in, Ryan. So look at that. Dai Yoshihara, Dean Carnage Carney, and Lontaine, I'm going to go to you, actually, if you could. Yeah, let's please confirm. So Dean Carney says he likes the rain. Keep it coming. I can't stand the rain. But what do you got, Lontaine? I cannot just yet, but I'm... And here we go, Forsberg versus Essa. And yeah, here is the history. 17 years of champions. You could see, as Ryan, you said earlier, there's only two three-time champions. James Dean, that was 17 through 19. Forsberg broke it up a little bit with his first championship in 09, 14, then 16. Most recently, Vaughn Gittin Jr. 10 years between his two championships. Frederick Osbo back there in 2015, then 2013. It was a pretty interesting year how that culminated in Irwindale. But Dai Yoshihara back in 2011, and then of course prior to that you had Tanner Faust, Reese Millen, Sam Hubinette, first ever Formula Drift champion. All right, Michael Essa, Chris Forsberg. Essa will lead. Essa qualifying 15th, Forsberg qualifying 31st. And Michael Essa, FCP Euro Liquid Moly, BMW. Looks like got a clean start. And here we go. Essa had a lot of grip on his first run. Let's see how he handles it here coming to that first outer zone. Essa using all the core skids all the way out to that white line inside that outer zone. There you go. Looks like Forsberg drops in, pulls out a little bit, as does Essa. Now coming into this inside clip. Both of them bringing it around. Forsberg just knocking it over. Now into this final outside zone. There goes Essa. Forsberg taking a way shallower line, and it almost comes to a halt right before that finish line. Things are getting hairy there, Ryan, right near the finish line.
As we'll find out who's going to move on into the Great Eight.
Yeah, and with Forsberg and Essa, they will go against either Alec Robbins or Kazuya Taguchi. Chris Forsberg leading the NOS Energy Drink Nissan 370Z coming into that outer zone. See how deep he is. Michael Essa right there. Now coming through. Look at that. Whoa, look at Michael Essa taking a way shallower line. And that's what Lontaine was talking about earlier. When you take a shallower line, you're going to get grip, and Michael Essa spins out, handing it to Forsberg as long as he maintains and continues on his pace. Chris Forsberg crosses the finish line, and Chris Forsberg gets the win in his NOS Energy Drink Nissan 370Z. An unfortunate turn of events for Michael Essa.
Yeah, bummer. Jared, that's like he's in. Here we go.
Slide him left for Forsberg, right for Michael Essa. And there we go. 1 for Forsberg and 2 for Forsberg. And finally, look at that. Is that correct?
Tell us about that.
All right. That is Chris Yule.
So split decision, first one.
Split decision, 3, not first one. Okay, all right.
Yeah, let's bring in Chris real quick.
Let's bring in Chris real quick as a, hey Chris, justification of going Essa.
Yeah, I felt like Forsberg straightened across the middle. So then I reverted to, so there was 2 zeros and I reverted to the first pass. where Essa had a stronger lead and Forsberg missed outer 3.
All right, well, outnumbered, unfortunately, for your outcome, but again, just seeing the different perspectives here. Thank you, Chris Yule. Here we go, Kazuya Taguchi and Alec Robbins. Kazuya Taguchi will lead up garage ISR 86, Royal Purple Top 16. Alec Robbins about to put it down. See the Type S lights underneath the vehicles. And here comes Kazuya Taguchi in that lead position, filling all that zone. Nice job by Kazuya. Bit of a shallow angle there from actually both the drivers, excuse me. And now into the outer zone. Look at Alec Robbins. Yeah, being from Minnesota, he's got the snow, he's got the wet, and now he's got the good chase run. Past that inside clip, Kazuya Taguchi, flames shooting out of the hood, and unfortunately Robbins takes a shallower line there, but I liked what I saw up until that point from Robbins.
In the top 16, filling the bracket up quickly.
Yeah.
Who's it going to be?
All right, coming through it, here goes Robbins and Taguchi. 2 more battles after this, which is Frederick Osbo, Dylan Hughes, and you got Travis Reeder and Federico Sharifo. And here goes Kazuya Taguchi. He'll be chasing down Alec Robbins. And Alec Robbins coming down in the Passetto Nissan 350Z from Becker, Minnesota. And here comes Robbins. Definitely an aggressive driver last year, tempering the flame, literally cooling it down here in the wet, but still phenomenal placement of that Nissan Z. And here goes, look at that, just hangs it out to dry. And then around that front clip, you can see Kazuya Taguchi taking out that front clip. Oh, and then Robbins once again, so even in the lead position, takes that shallower line, just having a tough time. Maybe a little nerve-wracking looking at that wall and trying to throw it in. In that quick, slide him left for Robbins, right for Kazuya Taguchi. And it looks like Kazuya Taguchi gets the win unanimously. Alec Robbins knocked out, so Taguchi gets the win and will advance. All right, here we go. Back at the action of Frederick Osbo, Dylan Hughes. Both these guys, Ryan, I gotta think that that they looked amazing.
No good?
Yeah, the way you're wearing your headset, you just threw me off. I just look over at you.
This is the DJ way.
Yeah, you look sick, bro. You look really cool. You look so cool. Frederick Osbo, Dylan Hughes coming down. Both these guys driving phenomenal in the wet, and we talked about that gearing being changed in that Toyota Supra of Frederick Osbo, but Dylan Hughes with the drying out conditions. And, oh man, are we seeing? No, it looks like just some spritz up in the air, a little spritz as Frederick Osbo comes through. Ooh, some little correction as he straight kind of beelines it towards that front clip. And now coming into that final outside zone, Osbo and Hughes. Let's take a look at this again. Just still thinking about how you're wearing your headset, so threw me off.
Dylan Hughes not.
All right, so here we go with Dylan Hughes out front. You see Freddie jump the light, which is allowed. We got a clean start. Who's moving on? Oh, our second to last battle, a little hippie shake, little shimmy shimmy shake there into that first outer zone. Now into the second. Oh, look at Osbo lunging up. Dylan Hughes getting all of it, throwing it all the way in. Look at that tap in the cones. Oh man, Osbo applying the pressure. Wow. Yeah, great job by both the drivers so far. Let's see how they handle this. Into that final outer zone goes Dylan Hughes all the way out there, just on the edge of the course, taking out that finish line cone. Man, I got to, all right.
Okay.
Scores are up. Slide him left for Osbo, right for Dylan Hughes. And look at this, Dylan Hughes gets one and a one more time. And finally, Chris Yule says, one more time. So an OMT.
Who was it?
What is that? What do you mean? Who? Glasses underneath his helmet, so he's got
fogged up.
Yeah, he's got a few windscreens going on there. Sopa on Europa. Keep it clean. Travis Reeder, that Link Engine Management BMW. Coming down into that first outside zone. You can see Fetty chasing down Reeder. Reeder with a great degree of angle into that big outside zone. Gets all the way out there once again. Tell you what, these BMW boys, Hughes and Reeder with their BMWs, massive angle. Throwing it down, look at that separation here between Reeder and Fetty. Now Fetty brings it on home. Reeder scrubs a lot of speed approaching that finish line, Ryan.
Yeah, Reeder looked very settled that last.
Yeah, you can see the puddles there and right in front of the headlights. Just the mist continuously coming down, so I don't think we'll see any dry conditions here this evening. Just not drying out. But these guys still going for it. Federico Sharifo into that outside zone. Travis Reeder taking a shallower line. No, got the proximity, but we need the angle, Reeder. Where you at? Oh, and Fetty scrubs some speed. Travis almost gets to the side of that Ferrari. Now into that second outside zone. Coming all the way through past that inside clip. So Travis Reeder kind of struggling here in the chase position. Ooh. Are they bashing doors, bashing wheels?
Looked like there was a little bit of rubbing there.
And unfortunately, versus Turk, Field versus Carney. We have that of Forsberg versus Taguchi, and it looks like Travis Reeder will get the win. Reeder advances on into the Great 8. Top 16, this is our final battle of the top 16. You saw the bracket, and there's Osbo from Ski, Norway, and Dylan Hughes from Snoqualmie, Washington. This is the one more time battle between these two gentlemen. Thank you guys and gals here in New Jersey and around the globe for tuning in. Local time, 10 o'clock on the dot. So thanks for joining us here at E-Town. And it looks like Dylan Hughes in that Pedal Commander burnout box. All right, they are going right into it. No sight laps for these gentlemen, going straight into it for this one more time battle. Let's send it, fellas. So again, the former champ, 6th in points. Dylan Hughes would love to rise to the occasion. He's sitting 17th coming to this round of comp. And here we go. Osbo will lead. He qualified 3rd. Dylan Hughes qualifying 14th. Fast Freddy's Pizza. We saw the video. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Toyota USA on social media. Frederick Osbo, that Rockstar energy drink. Toyota GR Supra. Dylan Hughes, that Permatex GT Radial BMW into that first outside zone. Works it into the second. You can see Frederick going a little deeper than Dylan Hughes, but he still does mimic that angle. Look at the proximity from Dylan Hughes. Here comes Frederick Osbo on that inside clip. Both of them just wrapping around it nice and clean. Very tidy. Clinical by both the drivers. Now into that final outside zone. Proximity, getting it, rubbing it. And there you go. So now we will see Dylan Hughes
wanting to continue this progression, will take the lead.
Dylan Hughes out front, Permatex, fast orange BMW. He's on GT radials. Let's see how he goes, initiating. Really gets all the way out there, actually just exceeds that track line just a little bit. Now Dylan Hughes, look at that angle from him, but Frederick Osbo jumps right to the side of him. Exactly what he needed to do, and look at Dylan gripping. Oh, comes out of drift a little bit, has a small little bobble and a mistake. He could definitely make up for it here in this last outside zone, using all of the track and taking out that finish line cone. Ryan, I believe we don't have the drone because of the spritzing. Scores are in. That was pretty quick, Ryan. Slide him left for Frederick Osbo, right for Dylan Hughes, and there it is. Frederick Osbo gets the win. Frederick Osbo gets the win and advances on. Ryan Lontano, if you could throw on your headset here and just elaborate again, for clarification. Frederick Osbo gets the win and your justification.
looking at what Dylan did was phenomenal on his lead run. Unfortunately, at the end of outside zone 2, he had a situation there where either the front end washed out or we're not quite sure, but he had to make a correction to the car. And really, that's all it took to give Osbo the win, because both runs were so high level in the lead and the chase position, but that's the only mistake that basically was made out there in a serious way. So unfortunately, that's all it took to end Dylan's day.
Real bummer for him, but definitely some great driving.
Yes, it was.
All right, well, thank you very much, Ryan Lontaine, as there is our grade 8 drivers. Denofa versus Turk, Field versus Carney, Forsberg versus Taguchi, Osbo versus Reeder. Brian, so just get an update here. Are we continuing with the sight laps?
Regrettably,
Both these guys originally from the East Coast, and actually Turk moved back to New Hampshire, and Chelsea Denofa live in the Pacific Northwest. But you can see the reflection. The reflection is off the gold nose. You got the puddle. It looks like what's good is the water is calm, so that means nothing is falling from the sky right now. So we might catch a break here until the end of the event. So it is changing, but we are continuing on the side lap. So here we go. Denofa and Turk, our first battle of the grade 8. All right, here comes that BC Racing Ditto tire. Both these guys on Ditto tire. Speaking of Dittos, into that first outside zone. That long shot, filling all of that first outside zone, and then into the second. There goes Denofa. Again, most recent winner, like you said, undefeated all the way from Orlando. Just kicking things off, our #1 qualifier, making it a perfect event. But look at Ryan Turk right there. Looks like he's gonna left punch that front inside clip. And now into that final, and that, I hope we have a drone.
we do have a drone.
I hope we have a drone.
Did you see the shot come up?
Yeah, yeah. Gold nose and the RTR signature lights. RTR ready to rock for a new generation of Ford tuning. And here we go. So let's see how they handle this. You saw Chelsea Denofa kind of pedal back a little bit. Looks like he's got the grip in the car. As Ryan took a look at Chelsea. Oh, buddy.
What was the over/under on that happening?
I mean, we all knew it was going to go down. We all knew it was going to go down. He's got the incomplete. He's gonna try to stick it to the door of Ryan Turk, and yeah. So yeah, unfortunately,
he had to do it.
Yeah, he had to do it. He had to risk it, but unfortunately, it just did not pay off for Denofa. So with him coming in third in points, he was undefeated up until this point from Orlando. The final four, slide left for Denofa, right for Ryan Turk, and it looks like the 411, the info and the communique is Ryan Turk gets the win. Ryan Turk and his Gum Out Toyota Racing Toyota Corolla hatchback gets the win and advances on into the final four.
Well, all of this is good news for Matt Field, and I believe that would be, well, actually, it's
Osbo as well.
Osbo, yeah, Osbo's in
Osbo,
6th place right now, so that's good because Gitten's out, Pollock is out, Denofa's just out. Field that has the most to gain here. After a lot of challenges and tribulations in Orlando, he's been making it far in competition, looking strong in that beast of a Viper. Here we go.
All right. Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper coming into that outside zone. Oh, and that looked absolutely independent, saving the vehicles from the contact. And that will definitely hurt Dean Carnage Carney.
Well, I guess I don't want to say that it's expected, but we know that drivers are going to continue to push the limits as we get closer to the finals. And it's always possible that we will see these independent mistakes. That looks like a pretty clear case of Dean just pushing a little bit past the threshold there.
We'll be chasing down Matt Field, Falcon Tires, Drift Cave, Corvette, the Beast from the Bay will be leading. What do we got? Party time, excellent. Matt Field comes out underneath the Tower of Power. We have these All-American machines coming to that first outside zone. Our second battle of the grade 8. Here goes Matt Field in that second outside zone. Dean Carney, he needs to throw down a solid chase run, and Matt Field, if he keeps it clean, he could have a victory in advancing on to the final four. Again, second in points coming to this round of competition, and Carney shuts it down. Field does need to continue through the course in order to get the victory. overall just to solidify, and it looks like that will be the case. So unfortunately for Dean Carney, it stopped raining. That's what happened. It stopped raining, and that was why he lost. His car keeps definitely turning off, so I know he's having some issues. All right, so Dean Carney, let's go ahead and slide him left for Matt Field, get the victory here. So it'll be Matt Field versus Ryan Turk. And there it is, unanimous. Matt Field versus Ryan Turk in the Type S Final Four, the official lighting of Formula Drift.
Here it is, our next battle lined up, Chris Forsberg versus Kazuya Taguchi. Chris, rocky start to the season, could use a Final Four finish here, and Taguchi's been pretty consistent. He is marching his way into the top 10 right next to Jeff Jones, who's sitting in 8th place right now, 61 points out before we came into the event. Let's get it on.
Yes, sir. Chris Forsberg all the way back there in 15th. So like you said, definitely a rocky start for the 3-time champ. There it is. Turk and Field already in the Final Four. Who's joining them? Forsberg or Taguchi, and then on the final battle of the Grade 8, Osbo and Reeder. Here is our sight laps. Forsberg coming on in, that NOS Energy Drink Nissan 370Z. Brings it around. So E10 86, and Chris Forsberg will be chasing him down. Here we go. Next battle of the Grade 8, Taguchi versus Forsberg. Looks like got a clean start, no cones were hit. Forsberg initiates behind Taguchi into that outside zone.
Whoa, big angle from Chris.
Yeah, massive angle from Chris. Taguchi takes a little bit out of it, going to that second outside zone. Look at how deep Taguchi is. That up garage ISR 86. Chris Forsberg pulls out of that outside zone a little bit. Oh man, just barely slipping around, slithering like a snake. Forsberg taking a very shallow line. I'd love to see, we do see the drone up in the sky. Like to see what happens here. Overhead shot. The winner of this battle going against Osbo and Reeder. So E-Town delivering some awesome fans. Thank you guys and gals. Those sticking around still waterlogged, but a smile on your face. Here we go. Chris Forsberg comes into that first outside zone. Taguchi right there in that up garage ISR 86. The NOS Energy Drink Nissan 370Z and Taguchi. Look at that proximity. Oh, is he banging doors? Tapping that brake light. Chris Forsberg stays in it.
You might have something broken.
A shallower line here from Taguchi. They bring it around that inside clip and now transferring into that final outside zone. See Forsberg filling all of it, and Taguchi, you can see him just firing on it, trying to avoid some contact, keeping that angle going.
Frederick Osbo.
Here we go. Slide him left for Forsberg, right for Taguchi. Looks like one of the judges says Forsberg and two of them. So Chris Forsberg gets the win, and it is not unanimous. Lorette Nickel down with Chelsea Denofa.
That's just basically what happened. Like, I hit him, bumped him. He knew I was still there, and if he would have transitioned, we both.
Lead was really solid also.
Right on. All right, thank you very much, Ryan Lontaine. And here we go. Ryan Turk is gone. So here we go. Frederick Osbo, Travis Reeder. Who's going against Chris Forsberg in the Final Four? Osbo initiates into that outside zone. Reeder trying to hunt him down. Talking about how well these gentlemen are driving. Ooh, and Travis Reeder takes a lot of angle out of it. Almost makes contact with the gold-nosed Toyota Supra. Some wavering back and forth. These guys are kind of chopping it up quite a bit. Reeder goes, ooh, that's a big correction there. So as Osbo and Reeder, unfortunately, Reeder in that chase position, having a lot of hiccups there.
Yeah, he gave away a bit too much. Travis Reeder taking the lead.
Here we go. Reeder, he needs a mistake here from Frederick Osbo in order to advance on. He needs to put down a solid lead run. He has done it. That's why he's here at this point, here in the Grade 8. And Travis Reeder, that
dangerously
BMW,
close.
Yeah, that was a solid initiation here. And now in that second outside zone, Osbo, one of the best in the biz, making it look easy with that Supra. You see the Early exit from Reader. Big angle from him.
Almost playing with fire here, Osbo.
Yeah, Osbo really dancing with the devil. Coincidentally, the blood red BMW of Reader.
You know, he must really trust Reader a lot.
That's good. That was all right, here we go. Frederick Osbo, Travis Reader. Slide him left for Osbo, right for Reader, and there it is. So Frederick Osbo gets the win. It'll be Forsberg versus Osbo. And then on the other side, the performance. Final four is here. The Type S Touring Products, the official lighting up Formula Drift. The lights are on, and these guys are about to light it up. Ryan Turk, Matt Field. Matt Field second in points. He's going to jump up because Odie Bakshis, who was leading the championship, got knocked out early by Matt Field himself.
In the top 16.
All the way back in the top 16, and here we are in the final four. So Ryan Turk will lead that Gum Out Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla hatchback versus Matt Field, Falcon Tires, Drip Cave Corvette, second, fellas, here in E-Town, under the Tower of Power. Let's see what we got. The four-cylinder hot hatch of Ryan Turk. Of course, the V8 Vet. Woo! Look at that. As Matt Field making his presence felt right there on the door of the Corolla hatchback. Ryan Turk using all of the course
I saw some
all
smoke.
the way out to the line, seeing some smoke. Ryan Sage getting some commentary in here as well. Some nice little quips as Ryan Turk has a wide swing around that front clip, but now brings it into that final outer zone and brings it on home. Ryan.
This is very exciting.
I like it. I like it.
Little smoke coming up. All right. That's cool. Let's start.
And here we go with the second run of this battle. Matt Field will lead the Beast from the Bay. Ryan Turk giving chase. The history here as Ryan Turk was so excited back in the day from 2003 to here to 2021. Matt Field would love to put a stop to that though. Literally rain on his parade as Matt Field transitions hot and heavy into that second outside zone. Matt Field digging deep. Ryan Turk maybe giving him a little too much room, but now you can see him catching up here. Let's see how he handles that front clip. Ryan Turk just tapping it, knocking it over into that final outside zone. Matt Field really gripping up with those Falcon tires and bringing it across the finish line. Ryan Turk coming on down. That is a really hard, good battle. I do not. Thanks for coming out. Here we go. Ryan Turk, Matt Field. We got it one more time there. Oh, we're going OMT, baby. Shee! What up, TJ Hunt? Watching back in Santiago. And here we are, the other half of this Final Four, the Type S Final Four. Frederick Osbo, Chris Forsberg, two champions ready to throw down. Frederick Osbo will lead. Chris Forsberg will give chase as they leave the start line. The conditions are drying out just a little bit, so I feel like we will be seeing a little higher speeds here coming to that first outer zone. Wonder if the gearing is going to work out for Frederick Osbo as Chris Forsberg takes a shallower line here. Frederick goes all the way out to that second outer zone. And now Chris gets that. Look at that, that absolute proximity. And now, ooh, shallows up, takes out that front clip.
He had to do it.
Yeah, he had to do that. And then goes into that final outer zone. So shallow by Chris Forsberg. And this is a must win for him. He will not be getting a podium.
And pulled out of the zone.
Yeah.
And that may just be because of the way that the conditions are changing.
All right, here we go. Chris Forsberg now out front. Frederick, oh, and that will be a restart. That is a restart for Chris Forsberg. Looks like he hit a cone that was obviously not jumped.
Yeah, Ryan Lantain just pointed out to me that he's been seeing quite a few cars when they come into the drag strip surface in that area where there's a lot of tire down.
Talking about outer zone 2.
In outer zone 2, yeah, the cars are gripping up there, and that may just be an artifact of getting drier, the rubber that's been laid down there throughout the weekend, and that may have been why Osbo kind of looked like he surged forward in outside zone 2. So let's see what happens here to Chris in his lead battle. These ever-changing conditions, a challenge for drivers, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah.
But it is getting faster and quicker. There's a shot right there of the spot that Ryan was talking about right in front of us, Jared, here, bottom of the screen.
Yeah, it goes black, gray, black, gray. All right, here we go. Chris Forsberg will now lead this second run of this top 4 battle. Chris Forsberg comes into that first outer zone. Sending it here into the second outer zone.
Okay, we're going.
Frederick Osbo. Oh, yeah, we're getting some speed, baby. Here we go. So into that second, right here is where he's shooting forward. But they both seem to be handling it here. But like you said, gripping up. And both of them wrapping around that front clip. Look at that.
Oh,
Chris Forsberg
ground.
grips away in that final outer zone. But Brian, is that enough? Forsberg definitely had a major mistake there on that front clip and coming in shallow. Forsberg or Frederick Osbo, which way are we going? Are we going to Chris Forsberg or Frederick Osbo? Oh, one more time. And it looks like Chris Forsberg gets one of the votes. And oh man, we are a split decision. Is that correct? That is correct. So it is a one more time.
Curfew what?
Yeah, right. So here we go. Back to that one more time. Ryan Turk, Matt Field. What? All right, here we go. Ryan Turk, Matt Field. Here is the one more time between these two gentlemen. And it was unanimous on that OMT. So here we go. Ryan Turk will be leading that come out. Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla hatchback into that first outside zone. Look at Matt Field, the beast of the bay. The drift cave, head caveman going for it right now.
Not playing games.
Yeah, no, we are not playing games at all. This ain't no video game. This is real life, son. As we come into that front clip. Oh, man, look at that massive angle there. And look at that shooting out into that final outer zone. Great composure for both these drivers. I got to tell you, Matt Field really keeping it, holding it down. That was a solid chase. Let's alternate the order here. Matt Field ready to send it out front. And Ryan Turk, the 4-cylinder turbo nitrous, critical hatchback. Angled Matt Field. And this supercharged Corvette. Throwing it in the outside zone, using all the course. Looks like the course is drying out even more. Look at this gripping up into that second outer zone. Both of them, 3/4 of the way deep into the outside zone. Matt Field pulling away, not leaving the judge's hands. And oh man, shoots. Look at that. Matt Field had a lot of speed coming out of zone 2, and that might have just shot him out.
Well, we saw the same thing. We saw the same thing from Osbo, and it looks like it also did something.
Scores are in. Slide him left for Turk, right for Field. Matt Field gets 1 and 2. Matt Field gets the win. Matt Field gets the win. And burnout box. Looks like Forsberg. So there you have it. Again, Forsberg qualifying 31st as he had to go to the not so great, was it 3, I think it was, because he couldn't qualify any higher than 31st. And then Frederick Osbo qualifying 3rd yesterday.
Yeah, I was suspecting that he might be upset about that, but it actually turned out pretty good for him.
It worked out. I mean, yeah, it was a tough part of the bracket. I think the rain, all of that just worked out. But overall, you know, the rain, it changed up everything. That was the absolute variable that I was not expecting coming to this weekend. I thought we'd have ideal weather. I didn't even think about it, and it just, I mean, I just got a text. They're like, did it rain all day? I said, no. I mean, we had top 32 driver introduction, and then ever since then, we've had wet until now. So this is the driest it's been in head-to-head competition so far.
Yeah, and with these two Titans here, anything can happen, but we did see kind of some of the areas where there's a variable in the system that could potentially play a role. Now, what have the teams done to adjust for that, change that? It's hard to say, but obviously these two teams, two of the most seasoned in the series.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously with Turk
there we go.
looking at a possible 3rd place, Osbo looking to get a podium as well. It's a good weekend for Papadakis Racing.
That's right. Here we go. Let's send it. Send it. Here we go. Frederick Osbo will lead. Chris Forsberg giving chase, coming down the chute underneath the Tower of Power. Frederick Osbo goes in that first outside zone. Both these guys gripping up. Put some grip in the car. That is smoke, my friends. Yes, sir. Now to that second outside zone. This is where we saw them gripping up, Ryan. Let's see how they manage. They do have some experience now with these drier conditions. Into that front clip. Both of them wrapping around just as I say that. Chris glances it just a little bit into that 3rd and final outer zone. Chris Forsberg gets in it and then comes out a little bit early. Good proximity from Forsberg.
And a great start here to the one more time.
have Chris Forsberg, Frederick Osbo. So Forsberg will now lead, Osbo giving chase. The lights are on. Once they extinguish, it's go time. Send it, fellas. Forsberg now out front, Osbo hunting him down. The NOS Energy Drink Nissan 370Z using all of the course. Looks like Osbo gets to the side of him. Good composure there from Frederick Osbo. Could have easily got to the side of that 370Z. And now, oh, wow, getting all of the outside zone. Frederick Osbo. Look at Forsberg pulling away from Freddie. The grip is back. The boys are back in town, baby.
Seemed like
who's pulling for Frederick Osbo? Who's pulling for Chris Forsberg? And Chris Forsberg gets the win. Chris Forsberg is going to the finals here in his backyard. So overall, again, Osbo gets third place. Who's going to get the victory? Matt Field, Chris Forsberg. This is an epic time. This is a great story.
It really is, and I don't think it would be right to say that things have come full circle for Chris Forsberg. It would be a massive circle for it to be that big, but it certainly is a really important, I think, moment for him already for how far that he's gone here. If he can get the win, it would be even better, but he's going to Matt Field, who is on fire right now.
It would be wetter and better right now for Matt Field as he takes the lead here in his Falcon tires. Drift Cave, Borla exhaust, Corvette, and Chris Forsberg shuts her down. And looks like Matt Field will continue on through the course. He does need to continue down. Chris Forsberg, a massive correction from him as we send it here. And we are going to see,
that's a mechanical.
Man, that is a mechanical failure here. Oh, what a bummer there for for Chris Forsberg.
A bit anticlimactic here at the end. It looks like a mechanical issue for Chris Forsberg. After having buttoned everything up, that's a big disappointment there. Let's take a look at it again and see if we can notice anything in particular on what happened. And let's also keep our eye on Chris if he goes back to the line or if he calls a competition timeout. Where
keep those lights out because it looks like Matt Field will be making a celebratory bye run, as looks like Forsberg is calling it. And here it is, Matt Field with a victory lap. Forsberg is calling him, so keep those lights out. Larry Chen grabbing the photo. Matt Field, what we thought was going to be all him just a few rounds ago. And here he is, Matt Field, a victory lap for the Falcon Tire Drift Cave Corvette, the Beast of the Bay 777. Your winner here at E-Town, the debut of the purpose-built Drift Coliseum here at Englishtown Raceway Park. Matt Field gets the victory as Chris Forsberg retires and the Falcon Tire smoke gets created. Ryan.
Yeah, Mr. Appropriate Confidence coming through again. Doing well based on preparation. Matt Field, your winner here at Englishtown Raceway. Unfortunately for Chris, was not able to get the car to the line for the second run. He will get that second place, though, much needed as he tries to rack up points for what could potentially be a fourth championship, but does have some work to do, some gremlins to work out, and let's not forget that Frederick Osbo also capturing a podium here tonight.
That is right. Osbo grabs third place. Chris Forsberg there in second, and just so close. And of course, Matt Field getting that #1 spot. So congratulations to him and his team. He knows he was definitely in the hunt. It's been a long, treacherous day, very exciting, a lot of drifting. I mean, from a abrupt ending last night to continuing qualifying today, and now going into a top 31 in Pro Spec, and here we are with our top 32 here, our third round of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Matt Field comes out on top, and it looks like pulling them on out.